So I don't know about you, but me and gratitude have always had this like on and off relationship, right? Where like I was doing it and it was good. And then I'd be like, am I really doing this right? And I'd kind of like slip away from it. And then I'd get back into it. And yeah, so in this video, I'm gonna go over everything that you need to know about how to do it, how to stick with it, what inspired me, and a lot more. But listen, real quick, let me introduce myself. My name's Maiklin, and I'm here to help motivate you and inspire you to go after your big goals, to stay motivated, and to think bigger, be bolder, and do better. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, be sure to subscribe and stick around for more. But let's get right into it. So why did I decide to do this challenge? What exactly inspired me? Well, it's this book called The Charisma Myth, and I highly recommend it. But here's the thing, gratitude helps you live a longer, healthier, and happier life. And this is something I've kind of been struggling with lately because February 2023, if you're new here, my mom passed away. And I had a hard time kind of like pushing those thoughts away. Not necessarily that you should push them away, but just that like I wanted more positivity in my life. I just felt like I couldn't really stick into my positivity. I kind of let negativity slip in too much, and I was like, I gotta work on this. And another thing I've really been struggling with to stay in a positive mood is YouTube. It's a uphill battle. It's a lot of like, I thought this video was gonna do well and then it didn't. So that's another reason why I just really wanted to focus on staying in a positive mood so that I could keep showing up and keep coming through as my best self for you guys. And one last thing that really was the big kicker for me was I'm always worried about my goals and the future. And I don't know about you, but that's just like a constant. And I didn't really know how to navigate that better. So I knew that gratitude could help me with this. And I just wanted to really be in the present moment more and focus on what is most important and the things that I get to do, not that I have to do, right? And really the end goal for trying to do gratitude is to stay in the present moment, to focus on the future in a healthier, positive, uplifting type of way and not a fearful scarcity mindset and just like constantly worrying about it, because that's the thing. If you're anything like me, you worry about everything. I know that's a really common problem, so I really believe that this will help you too. It has helped me quite a lot. So let's get right into it. Why does this work? Well, the first reason why it works is because of this thing in your brain. It's called the RAS. It stands for the Reticular Activating System. And it's basically like this magnifying glass where it's like you're always looking for things, right? Like when you think about like a red car, a red Mercedes, and then you start seeing red Mercedes everywhere. That's the thing with gratitude. When you write it down, you see it, you're looking for it more. You're constantly looking for the thing that you're thinking about because you wrote it down. That's the power of writing versus thinking. When you write something down, you're seeing it. If it's just being thought about, you're not really seeing it. You're not looking for it, right? When it's written down, you're seeing it more. That's the biggest difference here. And that's the biggest key to making gratitude really stick and to keep up with it and make it easier. And for the benefits to actually work. Because I always thought, like in the intro to this video, where I mentioned I always had like an on and off relationship with gratitude. I could never stick with it. I struggled to stay consistent. It's because I used to think I was doing it correctly by just thinking about what I was grateful for. But you really have to write it down. So that way you're really acknowledging it. You're using another sense, right? You're not just thinking about it. You're using your hand and your brain together. They're like, connect it, and they're writing down on that blank piece of paper and you're seeing it with your eyes, right? Instead of just thinking about it. There's a lot of different senses going on there. And that is how you really stick with it and make it actually work. And what's really cool about it too is there's a lot of cognitive benefits. You've got improved self-esteem, you've got improved creativity, which is the biggest key for me, honestly. And it's really helped me quite a lot with that. It's helped with stress and anxiety. It helps with falling asleep if you do it in the evening too. I do highly recommend doing it twice a day, but we'll get into that in a moment. The biggest thing here that I would say is the most beneficial is that it helps the relationship with yourself and the relationship with the people around you. Hey babe, I got a quick question for you. So do you think I've been more like in a good mood lately?
I think so. Been more positive, which I know is hard. Sometimes you're like anxious about things, but I feel like you've been able to look past that a little bit more easily. So it's definitely been improved.
When you're more grateful, it's contagious. Other people around you are more grateful, and you spread that within your relationships. Me and my boyfriend, actually, he has been more loving and more grateful and saying things that he's grateful for about me. And I didn't even tell him anything about this. He hasn't been doing the same things I've been doing. I've just been brushing off on him. So it really does work. So let's go over how it went in the beginning of this challenge. Well, it wasn't easy. I'm not gonna lie. Even though this journal, the 5-minute journal, really helped make it a lot easier, I still struggled for the first few days. But here's the thing, they tell you to have the journal on your nightstand to make it easier, which is really cool. And that does work, and I highly recommend you do that. Have it so easy that it's hard to say no to doing it. But in the beginning of anything new, any new habit, right, there's resistance, there's the, I don't really feel like doing it still, right? And you kind of have to overcome that. And then it gets so much easier. But here's the thing too, I was using this for a solid 2 months, and then I was like, I should reach out to them and see if, there's anything we could do to work together. And you can actually use the coupon code Michaelin10, which is linked down in the description, and use my affiliate link. That way you can help the channel. And I really recommend using this because it actually helps you stick with gratitude. Like I said, I struggled to stay consistent, and this right here has helped me stay consistent with doing gratitude every single day for over 90 days, okay? And I'm sticking with it, but we'll get more into that in just a moment. So let's talk about how things felt after a few weeks into this challenge. Well, as soon as I finally got over that resistance stage where I didn't want to do it, I actually looked forward to doing it, and my creativity finally went up. And that's really helpful for me because I run a business, and my creativity is one of my superpowers in this, right? So I constantly need to be coming up with new ideas and ways to market, and there's a lot, okay? Creativity is actually one of the things that I believe everyone should really focus on because you're gonna live such a better life. And listen, if you're afraid of like AI taking over, they can't take over creativity, okay? I'm not trying to scare you, but that's one of the things that you should really focus and hone in on. Make sure that you are a creative person. And this really does help because in the beginning, I was coming up with things that I was like grateful for in a materialistic way, right? And then the longer I went into it, the few weeks that went into it, I finally started becoming more creative and thinking about things that aren't materialistic and things that you cannot buy. And these are the things that are really, really good stuff. And the things that you can't buy, right? Those things are priceless. Those are the things that make life worth living for. And those are the things you should really be grateful for. Not the things that you could buy, not the things that you have, not the tangible objects that you can hold. It's what's in here. Expand your mind and expand the way you live your life. You're gonna live such a more fulfilling life this way. You're gonna be much happier, way less stressed, way less anxious. And that brings me to what the benefits were of doing this challenge overall. I was able to spread my gratitude, my positive outlook, my less stressed life here to my boyfriend. We've both been under a lot of stress. There's just been a lot going on. And me being in a happier, more uplifted, positive mood has spread onto him, and he's been more loving towards me. He keeps saying to me, he's like, I don't know why, but I just love you more. Like, I feel like our relationship is getting better and better. And that's the thing. I really honestly believe it's because I've been practicing gratitude every single morning. I never missed twice. I've only missed once, maybe 2 or 3 times, but I'll never miss 2 days in a row, ever. And sometimes I'll just go in and I'll write down what I'm grateful for later on in the day if I forgot to do it in the morning. But I really have been super excited to write in my journal and write down what I'm grateful for every morning. It's one of the best parts of the day. I just get to sit down with my pen and paper. And that's the thing, have a nice pen. Like, honestly, a nice pen is gonna make it so much more appealing. And one of the other benefits that I've noticed overall with doing gratitude every morning is the appreciation for the small things. Like, I appreciate more when my boyfriend wakes me up in the morning. I'll write that down. I'm grateful for that. Or I'm grateful for my cat snuggling with me the night before or the morning that I'm writing. Anything like that. That's like a small appreciation. And I just really overlooked those things before. Like, I just kind of took them for granted and thought like, oh, like it's no big deal, right? And honestly, mortality has been at the forefront of my mind lately, not just because my mom passed away. Like, I really have been into like stoicism lately, and just a lot of that comes up where it's like, just take each day as if it could potentially be your last. And that's the thing. You live a life that is so much more fulfilling that way because you actually go after things. You're not just like, oh, well, one day I'll do it. Someday I'll do it. And it's like, no, like I actually feel more of a drive to go after doing something because I am thinking about it more. I'm thinking about like, well, what if, right? Instead of just pretending like I just have so many more years to live. I've got 30, I've got 40 more years to live, right? Stop thinking like that. Just live life in the moment, appreciate the moment more. There is so much to be grateful for that you don't even realize. And that's what's cool. Like this journal really helped me become more creative in that aspect where I'm thinking about the little things. I'm really taking in appreciation for the way that the air feels different. The summer is turning into fall right now. I'm appreciative of like how crisp the air feels. It's just things that like maybe you think about, right? But like you really think about it when you're writing it down and you're more present with that thought and you're really enjoying it for what it is instead of like the seasons just changing and you're looking at your life and you're like, holy shit, where's the time going? It's like, no, it feels like time is slowing down. It's cool. Like we're in August right now. And August is typically a slower month, but it just feels like it's lasting so much longer for me. I don't know. I think that is one of the benefits. For me personally, that's how it feels, and that's what I really appreciate. It's not all butterflies, sunshine, and rainbows though. I'm gonna go over the challenges that I dealt with because it's not always super easy. There are mornings where you're really tired and you're really groggy and you're like, I really still don't wanna do this. Even like a couple months in, and I was just like, but I wanna do it. Like there's still this like voice inside in the back of my head. I don't know, it was just kind of like, you want to do this. And I was like, yeah, I do want to do this. So let's do it. And then I opened the book up and I'm like, yes, I wanted to do this. And I feel better once I start writing. But then there's also I don't know what the hell to write about. Like you do have like that creative slump still. It's not always going to be like, I'm so much more creative. Like I can take on the world. I feel so much better. It's not like this like magical quick fix, right? Over time, it gets easier. The longer you do it, the easier it gets. With anything. If you have been around, you constantly hear me say that. In the beginning, you're a newbie. So accept it for what it is. You're just new at this. Take your time. Be easy. Be gentle on yourself. And keep going. Keep going until it feels better. Because inevitably, it always does. It always gets better. It always gets easier. And you always want to do it more. But there are still gonna be those days where you're just like, ugh. And then you kind of get through it and you're like, okay, I'm really happy I did that. I'm always happy that I end up doing my gratitude in the morning. There is never a day that goes by where I'm like, oh, I wish I didn't do that. It's like, no, like I'm literally so happy that I did end up doing it. And it always makes me feel better. And it always helps me get to a good start for the day instead of like checking my phone. And if you're anything like I used to be where I had my phone as an alarm clock, please ditch that shit because it's not worth it. Switch your phone with a real alarm clock and get your fucking phone out of the bedroom. I'm sorry, I can't say that enough on this channel. If you're doing that still, please stop. Don't do that. Have a real alarm clock and thank me later. You're gonna live a much better life that's why. But seriously, have something to look forward to. Have something that you can start the day off on the right foot instead of feeling like, oh, I had this horrible thing happen. It's like, no, I didn't. I got to write down what I'm grateful for this morning. I had the right start to my day. And that's so cool. And here are my final thoughts. If you haven't guessed already, I'm sticking with gratitude. I want to do it till the day I die, okay? This is the way to live your life. If you're not doing this and you're not feeling inspired to do this, I don't know how else I could tell you that you should definitely give it a chance. Just try. Have a pen and a piece of paper if you don't want to get the 5-minute journal. But I do recommend getting the 5-minute journal and using the Pilot G207 because these guys are like besties. They work so well together. This paper is so freaking nice. It just glides when you write on it. It's like a fountain pen. It's like, it doesn't bleed through. It's all the good things, okay? I promise you, I'm a Virgo and I know what works and what doesn't work when it comes to pen and paper. So take my word for this. If you're interested in getting the 5-minute journal, get a Pilot G207 and have them be besties. And you're gonna look forward to writing in it every morning. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to do another 5-minute journal or use the Become a Warrior or use the Notes to Mindfulness journal. There's like 2 different other journals, or this one. I recommend this one if you're a beginner and you don't know what the hell you're doing with gratitude. This makes it really, really easy, and it explains how to get into writing gratitude in the morning. It has what would make today great if you got it done. That's a really great way to just kickstart your day, and or get the most important things done. I always talk about that on this channel. If you're anything like me, who used to be a procrastinator and push things off all the time, this can also really help you with that too. It's like, what 3 things would make today great, right? Love that. It's so good. You just write it down and you see it and you're like, I have to do that thing because I wrote it down. That's the thing. That's the power of writing things down on a piece of paper and not keeping them in your brain. You have to stop relying on your brain. You have to stop remembering to do things. That's the biggest thing here. Stop remembering to do things. Just write them down and get them done and live a much better life this way. And listen, I really hope that I inspired you to start being grateful and to practice gratitude. Take on this challenge, see where it gets you, see how you feel. I believe it actually goes on for 6 months. I'm still working through it. And I did start in either, I think it was, I could check right now actually. So I actually started this on the mark, May 21st of 2024. And today is August 21st, 2024. So seriously, good shit here. Just try it out, see if you like it, and use the coupon code, save 10% off. And listen, if you're interested in working one-on-one with me and going after your big goals, I'm an entrepreneur and I've been one for 6 years now. I can help you get started and help you get going after your goals. And it doesn't even have to be entrepreneurship. There could be something that you really, really want in life that you just don't even know how to go after because you're just lost, confused. It's big, it's scary. I can help you. I can come up with a game plan for you and break everything down step by step in actionable, easy, bite-sized pieces so you can go after your big dreams, okay? And listen, if you want to work with me, just scroll down right now, click on the top link in the description, and I'll see you next time, all right? Bye for now.